Hello, and this is Tina. Welcome to Lakeshore Academy. Today, I want to talk to you about how I am adapting a core thinking tree journal to a lesson plan book for myself. Because, as you guys know, and we're about to wrap up a school year and about to start a new school year. So, every planning book that I have, I, for some reason or another, it doesn't necessarily fit everything that I would like to do. However, I do like the way the format of the Thinking Tree journals, and I bought a lot of journals ahead of time when Sarah did a whole lot of sales last year and the year before last when she run those humongous sales where she have a lot of her journals on sale. And so even though my kids wasn't of age to use that particular journal at the time, I bought it anyway for the future. But now with some of the journals, core journals that I have, I'm noticing that that might not be the one that I'm looking for right now because I found some other ones that I really, really like that I think will fit my family a little bit more, if that makes sense. I like them, but I think my kids would like another one instead. So with that being said, I have some core journals that I was like, man, what am I going to do with these core journals? Because I love them, they're amazing, but I already have some journals that the kids are going to be using are for now, and I have some that I'm saving for the future, but I need a lesson plan book now, and I already spent all this money, so I need to figure out a way that I can utilize those thinking tree journals and in another way. I need to figure out a way to use it in another way. So I thought about a way and I said, well, I'm going to show you guys. Like, as you can see, this is one. Now, Sarah has more than one lesson plan or plan books per se. I do own this plan book. I did start it for the beginning, last year, but I'm gonna erase this and I'm gonna put some more things in it. And I love this lesson plan book for the fact that it's big. It's big. But next year I'm gonna be doing a whole lot of unit studies. Basically, the bulk of my school year is going to be unit studies. So, and by doing unit studies, I can easily incorporate both kids in it, no matter what grade level. So that's why I'm doing that, so it can like simplify my homeschool a whole lot more. But basically, this is how this particular plan book that Sarah does have designated for lesson planning, for planning your day and such. And this is the one that I own. She do have two more. One that is 12 weeks, two that are 12 weeks long. And she also has another one that's just like this for 180 days, but it's a different cover, but it's the same thing on the inside. And I do like this. If I was just doing one child, which I am going to use this, but I'm going to use this for my personal stuff, like for when I do my Young Living classes and different points that I want to bring out to different people when I'm doing Young Living and different homeschool things that I want to bring out. I'm gonna use this personally for me. Okay, like I said before, this is one of her plan books. Well, these are some of the core books. Well, I have more than this. I have a whole lot of different core books, but these are the two core books that I thought specifically that I can use. I can easily adapt it and change it over and use it for both kids write notes with planning for myself. So these are two core journals. This one is designated for the high schoolers. This one is designated for middle-ish high school. You can actually use it for elementary too, and it can last for a couple of years if you use the 10 subject. So after I looked through it, the journal, let me just show you how this one looks a little bit. These are the different subjects that's going to be focused on within this particular journal. And this is geared towards high school level. So when I looked through it, I said, okay. Because when I first saw this a year ago, I absolutely loved it. And I still do. However, I feel like this would be a better fit for me with lesson planning for my kids versus my child using it. Although I do have another copy, 2 more copies. So later on, they might want to use it a little bit more, but I need something right now. So let me explain to you how I'm going to change. Oh, let me show you a little bit of this 10 subject. what I particularly like about the 10 subjects, how every section is marked. So this is science. All the ones with the S is science. Then there's history, math, business and technology, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, business and technology. Literature. Yeah, literature and language arts. So this is going to go with science, history, geography, math, business, language arts, the arts, social studies, film, home economics, and projects. The reason why I particularly thought about using these two per se, because I have more core journals, but these fit a little bit more better for what I'm trying to do. For number 1, this thinking tree journal here can easily be made over to your lesson plan book. Look how thick it is. Can easily be made over to a lesson plan book. And let me show you how you can do it. Just disregard everything that's directed to the child. You're using it for yourself. As you know, these are the subjects that we go over with our children. And right here, this is going to be my particular interest page, what I want to accomplish for that particular school year with my children. What points, bullet points that I want to make sure they have by the end of the school year to keep reminding me, or get so I can look back and have like a reflection on what my goal is. Then I'm going to write down my note to myself, what I want for the 2018-2019 school year. And I'm going to write that down and write my goal. And I love having a focus board or a vision board. And this could be my paper vision board, and I can write down different things that I want to accomplish during that particular school year. Here, instead of normally with Thinking Tree, the book, these pages are geared towards your child, picking books for these relative subjects. However, I'm using it for a lesson plan book for myself. So whatever my children are using for language arts or English or science or history, I will write it down and I write a little note. This child is using this. I write the name by the child, what level, whatever they're using. Then I would have all the different supplemental stuff that I would like to also incorporate with these various subjects. I can even switch it over and use these books to identify different DVD videos or educational YouTube channels that I want my child to be able to understand and see throughout this particular school year. This is a start today. This will be my therapeutic page, something to keep me focused, something that will keep me motivated. So I will write down something that encouraged me, whether it's a Bible scripture or a quote or something someone said to me, just to remind me to keep focused, and things that I want to pray for. This is therapeutic for me. This is just a coloring page. I can use it for whatever I want to use it for. Reading time for me, reminding me to take my downtime and read, and drawing time. Now, here is where I'm going to change these pages. As the question asks, if the child was doing it, it asks them, what did you learn about in science today? Well, instead of me focusing on that question, that is out for me. I'm not focusing on that. What I'm focusing on, this is going to be my science page. This is going to be my history page. So what I'm going to do, whatever we're going over for that particular unit study, however long I want to plan it for, I'm going to write down, this is what we're going to be studying for this date. And I'm going to write the date here and how long I'm going to do it. And I'm going to write down this and any vocabulary words, any outside references, any labs. I'm going to write it down for this particular page right here. Now, if I do take up all the space here, instead of illustrating, I'm going to write some little side points. Maybe here I can write vocabulary words, or maybe here I can write down the book and different page numbers, or what bullet points I particularly want to hit with science on that particular week or month, or however long I'm going to carry it over. Same thing with here. History, we use story of the world, so therefore I can write down what chapter, what activities, what videos, or whatever I want to show them for that particular day. Mathematics, same thing. This is where I'm going to write my lesson for math. My kids is taking economics, basically a college level economics and finance class. And so that will be their math for until they finish it. And so I can write down exactly what concepts they're working on in math and finance that particular day, finance and economics for that particular day or that particular week or multiple weeks. I can even add on, like, okay, they studied this and write the date. They studied this day, that day, to keep me organized here. Copy work. This page can be a freestyle page for you. You can write down whatever you want to write down, or if you needed additional space for a different subject, you can actually use this page to support that particular thing. If you need extra space or you need more detail, or you want to keep grades, you can write down the grades. If you had a project, what grades your child got for that particular day. Same thing here. English. What are your children working on in English? They're working on book reports. They're working on research, biography, autobiographies, fictional, non-fictional, preposition. Whatever they're working on, you write that down, and you write down the lesson, and you write down what you want to have accomplished for that particular day. You don't have to have a particular day. This can be for the main focus point is just the subject, not the question. So this is my English page, which is also literature and grammar. So I'm going to be focusing on writing down what my kids learned for that particular week or day, or if I do a unit study. I usually do language arts every day. Well, I try to. So whatever they're doing, I write that down as well. Nature study, this would be something where it encourages me to take my kids outside and look for creative things for them to do outside. That would just be a reminder for me to take them to do something unique outside. This is the spelling. So whatever curriculum that your child is using for spelling, this is the perfect opportunity that you can take to write down those spelling words in this area. Or you can write down what curriculum, what page, what number they was working on and keep a record there. Or you can actually hand this page to them and let them do it with you. However you want to use your spelling time sheet for your lesson plan is totally up to you. This is the page in which I will use to write the different documentaries. It's like, say for example, I had a documentary that they was doing for math, and I write that down. And I write math, put math in parentheses, science, parentheses, and write down what they like. And here I can write down, did they like it? Did they not like it? Did they like the way the information was presented? If I showed them two different ways one subject was presented or one concept, and which one did they prefer on YouTube more? Did they like math antics or did they like crash course? Little details, little notes for me to keep in mind when I'm teaching. Again, starting my day, that is just for me. This is for me. Therapeutic, just fun. And I kind of like start the same format over. And this will be my lesson plan. This will be my science page, history page, and math page. Copy work is totally up to you what you want to do. You can make that your additional page where you can write down different lesson plans. Some people may need to mark this out and write lesson plans on it. I don't need to do it. If you're a person like me who needs to keep records because of your state, because I have to keep a journal and a lesson plan book. So being that this was kind of fit both of them, because it would kind of be like my journaling as well as my lesson plan at the same time. So instead of me having all these separate books, I can just use this one big book and it does the exact same thing and everything is in one spot. So that's the way I am going to switch over this high school thinking tree journal adapted to a lesson plan. The same exact thing can be done with this 10 subject. What I particularly like about this is that it's highlighted what subject you're working on. So you know that all of this is going to be science. It says project, observation, experiences. This can be where you use your vocabulary words. What unit study, you can put unit 1, unit 2, unit 3, unit 4, however you want to do it in order to make it more adaptable for you. For science, Then the same thing you can do for history, whatever books. We're using Story of the World. So Story of the World will be here. But I also have supplemental stuff that I use with my children as well, DVDs and videos. So I can write those here. And make sure I add the date to it as well. Same thing will be done with mathematics and so forth. So you can easily adapt a core thinking tree journal and make it your lesson plan book or your plan book easily with these particular two journals. With film study in the back, you can write down, okay, these are the particular films that I want my children to be able to watch to go with whatever subject that I'm teaching at the time. So you can write down the topic, and keep good records. So in my case, where I have to keep records, this will work out great for me because I won't have to have all these separate books. I just have one. And had I thought about this earlier, would have really bought more of these two. I do have another one of these, but I had two of these, but I gave one away. But I'm going to be using these Thinking Tree core journal for my lesson plan. And I think it's going to work out really, really great for the fact that it's already broken down in subjects for me. So therefore, I just need to input my information. Steam pump journal? I never heard about that, Felicia. I need to look that up. Because I am looking for something that actually, and I think this right here will work for me for now, because I'm basically trying to figure out how I'm going to use some of the journals that I bought previously. Oh, okay. I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to use some of these core journals that I bought maybe a year and a half ahead of time when my kids weren't actually ready to use them. Although they can still use this now. But I am in need of a lesson plan book, and I have more than enough Thinking Tree journals that I bought in the past that I can easily adapt it. Because basically what I'm trying to do is use what I have. And if you are homeschool, you know what I'm talking about. We see all this other stuff out there and we get so super duper excited, and we go and we just break our budgets and our bank because we said this is the new best thing, and we try to get it. So basically what I'm trying to do is use what I have and adapt what I have. Like maybe it's not the exact thing that I particularly want, but I'm trying to figure out a way in which I can use it in a different way to save money and to just get better use of it. Reuse, recycle, repurpose it. So basically that's what I'm doing now. And I see how great, like I said, although I do own a plan book for Thinking Tree, and this is good, and I like how big it is. However, I'm going to use this for my personal use. Yes, Felicia, it is so hard not to buy Thinking Tree journals, especially when Sarah runs all those amazing sales. And like I said, I've been doing Thinking Tree for a little while now. So I have, oh my goodness, I have quite a bit of Thinking Tree journals. Yeah, that I bought over the years, quite a bit. And the thing is, I gave away a lot. So I don't even see how I have so many journals that I personally bought. Then I'm like, wow, that I personally bought. And then some of them that I won from giveaways and different stuff like that. So when I win something or they're gifted to me, I don't sell them. I gift them to somebody else. If I personally bought them, I still don't sell them. I just do these giveaways that I've been doing. And I just try to figure out a way to help utilize. But I'm just trying so hard not to spend any more money because I don't have it to spend. And we're going to be doing a book sale, yard sale, hopefully just selling books for maybe no more than $5 and down. So the kids can earn money for field trips for the next upcoming year. Trying to teach them about being thrifty and working with their money, with economics, so they won't go out and just buy things just to buy them. because it's the easy way to do it, but try to figure out how you can utilize what you already have. And if you don't have it, figure out a way to earn the money to get what you need. So that's what we're working on now and the next upcoming school year. So this is how I'm going to be using. This is going to be my personal plan book for with my essential oils and supplements and all that stuff like that, and my organizing my videos, doing YouTube and stuff. And this is going to be my lesson plan book for both kids, planning for this upcoming school year. And if I need more space or need another one, which I doubt it, but I can also use this as well. I don't know which one I'm going to use thus far because I like both of them for the same purpose. But I'm more gearing towards this one for now because I only have one of these, and I think my daughter probably want to use this maybe in the 10th grade, maybe 11th grade. I don't know. But being that I have more than one copy of this, I think I'm just going to go ahead and use this one to make as the lesson plan because I really like the way it's laid out for that purpose. So I'll let you know how it goes, and maybe I can do an upcoming video and show you how it actually looks when you have your stuff written inside the book, because sometimes it's more easy for someone to visualize it once they see an actual layout of it instead of someone telling them how they're going to do it. So once I sit down and start planning for the next school year and writing stuff down, I'll come back if I don't forget and show you how it actually looks to actually with writing to change it over to a lesson plan or a plan book. But I just want to share that little idea with you. So if you have a core journal that you thought would fit for your family in the beginning, and then as time went on, you said, this is a nice journal, but it's not quite the fit for me and my children at this point in our life in the homeschool, because we have different seasons of homeschool. One moment we're in one particular season where everything we're so focused and so into certain things, and then we kind of transition or shift. And sometimes when we shift, the things that we already previously bought may not fit with that shift in our homeschool, if you understand what I'm saying. So right now we're shifting and we're gravitating towards different things that Thinking Trees offer. That I'm gravitating more towards geography and creative writing and science, because she has so many amazing things dealing with that. So we're gravitating more towards that now, whereas in the beginning we was really deep down with all our core journals, because they was do about 3 or 4 in a year. But now we're more gravitating towards, I like to call it supplemental stuff, like geography, dealing with like the 7 amazing continents, the science portfolios, the creative writing, the math, the smoothie school, the cook, the yummy school. And we more gravitating towards that now in this season of our homeschool, and we thoroughly enjoying it. Although we do have a lot of core journals, my children are now like really like invested into those other things dealing with Thinking Tree now. So while they're into it and while they're doing that, I want to like support that. And then eventually I know we'll gravitate back towards more core stuff later on. But right now, she has so many awesome, amazing things going on, like the pondering the past. Oh my goodness, we're gonna dig into that for next year as well. So let me just show you right quick before I turn off exactly what journals we're gonna be using for next year. Okay. And I'm sorry I had to walk off right quick, but now I'm going to show y'all exactly what journals that my kids are using for next year. So as you can see, their interest has changed over this past school year a lot. So they're going to be using Are You a Math Genius? My daughter, I know this. You're probably saying, why is she using this with the 8th grade? I mean, with an upcoming 9th grader. The reason why I'm using this journal with my daughter, even though it's geared towards elementary school level, but when you open it up, my daughter will be taking pre-algebra next year. So I want a low-key way to kind of make algebra fun. If you notice how the concepts is for algebra, dealing with is taking a numeral out and put a value or put a letter. If you notice, the child had to make up their own equations. So this is a great gateway towards algebra in a fun way for a child, even your older children, because you can see whatever number they put up here, they say, okay, W is 4, X is 5, and they come up with the answer at the end. So I'm using this, and it starts out with addition, then subtraction, division, and multiplication. So my daughter will be using this alongside her pre-algebra book for those days, especially when it gets a little hectic, because math is a stressful subject for us in general. She's gonna be using alongside Learn Math Fast, which she's loving that. But I always like to have something fun for them to do as well. And this is gonna go along with their economics. They already taken a course online, but I'm gonna use this for the economics too. Now, these are the supplemental ones that I was talking about that my children is going to be using next year. Of course, I have some more, but these are the ones that we have out for now. They're going to be using Pondering the Past. Next year, they're going to be using All About a Dangerous Species. They're going to be using 7 Amazing Continents. And these two are core journals, and both of my kids picked these core journals out to do next year. However, they're more gravitating towards, I don't even know if they're really going to dig into this next year. I will see how it goes, because this is a core journal. These two, I don't know how they're going to do it, but this is what they picked about a month ago to do. And this is my daughter's own for science portfolio. My son has this. We have it in a PDF. Let me show you their writing. And these are what my children will be using for creative writing. And my son also has the All About Animals bit journal, and my daughter has the poetry one. So as you can see, their interest or the way that we approach Thinking Tree or do Thinking Tree products has changed dramatically from when we first began, probably like 2 years ago or more. They're more gravitating towards these supplementary, which I call supplementary aspects of Thinking Tree. This is what they're gravitating towards now. Whereas in the beginning, they gravitated towards all the different core journals like Minecraft and the Christian one, this one. Those are the ones that they gravitated towards in the beginning, but now they're changing, and I'm trying not to hold them in a box. So if I see where their interest in learning is gravitating, I'm trying to develop that and not hold them in a box. So we're still going to be doing our Thinking Tree. We're just going to be doing Thinking Tree in another way. Of course, these are the two journals core journals that they did pick for next year, but we'll see how it goes next year. But even if they don't get into their core journal for next year, I just have to start doing another giveaway. If they don't get into it, then they're going to be doing a whole lot of Thinking Tree. And that's not even, wait a minute. They're, I forgot to show you. Okay. And so I forgot, and these two, they'll be doing these two. So as you can see, they're going to be doing a lot of Thinking Tree journals next year, but they're not the core. They changing a little bit. So I just want to give you a little tidbit on how our homeschool is in a different season at the moment, changing and gravitating, but I love it. So we're going to be using these next year with both kids with Thinking Tree, and I am going to be using this for a lesson plan book. So I just want to show y'all how you can adapt Thinking Tree. Use those journals, because sometimes we buy journals well in advance, and I want to show you how you can utilize or think outside the box on using your core journals for yourself, not just for your children, and how it's okay if they start gravitating towards more of these supplemental things for Thinking Tree. That's fine. You don't have, it's fine. Let them gravitate, let them explore, let them learn in their way. That's totally fine. And eventually they probably will gravitate back towards some of these core journals. And if they don't, that's okay too. They're still using Thinking Tree products. That's why I like it, because Thinking Tree has a variety of different things that you can do. So my kids actually picked all this stuff to do. Whereas before, just this one core journal with their books. Now they're doing all of this stuff willingly. So that's why I'm like, I'm not worried about it. Because I'm like, wow, they're doing way more Thinking Tree books at one time than they did when they just did the core. So, and they have one more that they added on that's in the supplementary kind of range too. So don't worry about it. And I want to just share that with you, just in case you're in a transition period like me and you're trying to figure out what you're going to do. So you guys have a great rest of your day. I will shortly be on Thinking Tree and Dyslexic Games for a giveaway. So, and being that you're all my YouTube subscribers, I'm going to go ahead and let you know that I'm giving away 3 Thinking Tree journals instead of 2, because I'm behind on giving with giveaways, and I have some books and I'm trying to give them out to you. So you guys have a great day. Talk to you later. Bye.